doing great, sweetie.
Interview for a boyfriend. Your middle name? How long has it been since you wore a diaper? How old were you when you first noticed you had feet? How tall of a lying down? A glowing thing or a burning dark? Quick, pick one. How many needles can fit between my eyelids? How big was your first? Your last? The last light switch. Do I flick it? Can you handle candles? What's it like to wear no skirt? How many bras have you sniffed? Define addiction. Define a lover's hip. How many languages are enough? How can you free yourself without getting committed? And what's it like inside your stuff? And I see your feet are like freaky small, and your hair smells like fly shit and feels like fish's eyes, and you have 3 nostrils and the third one is for jizz. And your eyelashes are made of spider legs, and they move on their own when you get angry or turned on. Can you believe me when I say your shit seems beautiful? Did I stutter? Did I stutter? Did I? How many lines ago was that? Can you count the juices in the fridge, honey, and know that I'll always want more? What do you see from eyes so blue? Do you see that mine are glass? Do you see that they're not windows? Can you quantify exactly more or less all that you'd want for my eyes to be? Also, you have grass eyebrows and too many tails, and your tendons made of Twizzlers, and you only drink Windex orange juice. Hands made of pancakes and lifelines, and oh, your earlobes have lips. Yeah, sometimes they whisper sweet nothings to the pigeons on the park bench while you stroke your fingertips against various things, like pigeons, like me. Why me? Well, I broke up with my boyfriend and then spent the night. And my mom remains convinced that we just need more hangers. And I start all my sentences with, oh, well, look. And I ran through my apartment, counted all my pairs of tights. And I noticed not a single tear looked a thing like him. And I heard that song that he reminds me of, and it was the birds screaming the earth back awake. So I drank a whole bottle of V8 and went to sleep. And I broke up with that boyfriend and then spent the night. And my roommate's convinced I can just go back tomorrow. And I dropped my sister's black vintage gloves in the mud. I dropped my easiest class and told everyone I'm a pyro. And I'm still not quite done with that last guy I spent the night with, and I'll never be as high with anyone as I was Adele, and I never called him Del when I was with him. And I never understood people when they said they could remember a touch until I felt his thick palms 4 days after he left. And when he said he wasn't coming, I ate a strawberry and tasted nothing, and I haven't eaten fruit since. Nothing's made sense since 10 days before he left. Now I'm way past losing track of who left last. Now I wear lipstick loud as a disclaimer. When I dropped him, I shattered. Translation: no man's pleasing sense. But I'd like to watch you try. So your last name? Do you have any pets? Can you be with a woman you'll never be able to please? Thank you. My name is Laura Buxton. That was Boyfriend Interview by Haley Mosley. It's the first spoken word poem I ever performed, which was like a year ago in a couple weeks. And about a year ago, I couldn't write a poem that rhymed to save my life. And now they all rhyme, and they're all super cliche. So this is my moment of teenage angst. It's great. So this is from a couple months ago when I was just up to my chin in deadlines because I'm a senior and college applications are out to kill me. So yeah, this is called Million Miles a Minute. Wake up, head up, 4 subjects, 2 hours quick, out the door, pounce on this day, don't cower. Onto work, rehearsal, church till 10, just to get up tomorrow and do it all again. Moving 1,000,000 miles a minute through a routine that feels infinite. Gotta go, stay on track till the day is done. Head hits the pillow, then bam, there's the sun. No time to breathe, watch the moment be wasted. Every choice, every step, every second feels weighted. The deadlines, the stress, keep me alert and working. If I didn't feel like I was drowning, would I still be swimming? Or would I lie crumpled in bed, alone and detached, nonchalantly noticing the days that have passed? Is it better instead to rush day to day? Are things really truly better this way? So I'll stay steady and strong and keep my head up. Because if I stay sure of myself, then not much will go wrong. Alright, so I can only crack out a poem maybe every 2 months, maybe. So a couple months ago, it was like 2 in the morning, and I was really mad because I've been trying to write a poem for a very long time. And so this is to that person, you know how there's like that guy in the coffee shop and he just like sits in the corner with his notebook and he's just cracking up poems. You can just feel it. You're just like, oh man, you're just cracking them out and I can't. I can't. I can maybe get a sentence. So this is to that person.
She's talking about you.
Yeah, totally. This is just, I'm gonna aim it right at you. To the person who writes 4 poems a day, you with your thrift shop sweater, messenger bag, neat handwriting, perfect notebook, and your pretentious wit, you sit in the coffee shop for an hour, write the day's poems, 4 in total, and go home to your neat little apartment. 17 plants, 2 dogs, and a successful day. As you sit and write, you're an executioner leading your victims to slaughter. Bam, 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 bam. 4 pristine poems about your existentialism. The way the steam rises from your coffee against the consuming world. You know, you come here rather than Starbucks, because Starbucks is capitalism at work, and of course this place is art. Your Zen place where you can truly find yourself polishing up poems printed off like newspaper articles. So rather than 4 poems, I have 4 points for you. 1, screw you and your ease with this art. 2, jealousy could also be known as angry admiration. So 3, God, I hate you, but 4, God, do I want to be you. Because it would seem like my recipe for decent poetry is 3/4 teenage angst and 1/4 cliche metaphors and rhymes. I love to write, but lately it seems like when I pick up the pen, my mind goes to sleep or tells me that no one wants to hear this story. So how do you tell yours with such ease? Could you just step off your pretentious pedestal and teach me? Alright. Okay. So this, I have like 3 more. Here we go. Alright. This one is actually like the first kind of love poem I think I wrote. I don't know. You can call it that. It's a combination between a couple, but it's called Where the Light Is. Keep me where the light is. Where cotton candy skies melt into sugar-coated streets. Where earth and sky, 2 long-lost loves finally meet. Keep me where the light wraps me in her splendor, even as the sun lies down her rays like dying embers. Because then we'll have the stars, you see, they'll light the way for you and me. And when the clouds come to rest above, our hearts will be the lanterns burning with love. And now we'll stand amidst the darkness, vulnerable and reckless, so keep me, though the light is bittersweet, and let me love you for 1 more heartbeat. Let me be brave. Let me stumble into every mistake, break the promises, take every chance you wouldn't take. Let me fail and fall and pick myself back up. No, I won't take your hand. I'm making myself rise up. And I'll come back to the surface after I find some answers on my own, because maybe there are times when you must be alone. So let me be brave and go daring and fighting into the cave, and I will emerge victorious, soft mind, sharp heart, glorious. Only if you let me be brave and darling for you, I promise it won't take but a single heartbeat. Okay, so this one, a few months ago, this idea came to me to write a letter, and I knew exactly what it needed to say, but I had no idea who it was to. And, I mean, multiple people flashed through my mind. I was like, oh, maybe it's my mom, maybe it's my best friend, maybe it's like that long-lost person from, like, kindergarten. I don't know. But I knew exactly what it needed to say, and so I thought, I'll write it, and maybe I'll figure it out. I still don't know who it's to. So I feel like if you hear this, and you feel like it's for you, then it is. This is open letter. To whom it may concern. One of my favorite things about the sea is sea glass. It reminds me of people, but backwards. We enter the hardest of times soft and emerge harsh. They enter the rocky sea with sharp shards and grow soft from being tossed about. I want to be like that, to rise to the surface with a soft heart, lose my anchors of sadness and anger, but I can't. I can't come forth and be exactly who I want to be, because it takes decades for sea glass to transform, so how long does it take a broken heart to heal? And I've already been gone too long. I did not want to be gone for this many heartbeats. Old friends found new hearts to fall in sync with, but a few stayed. They tossed lifesavers, but I thought there was no life to save, until one day, without warning, I pulled myself out of that hole in the bottom of the sea before it could swallow me whole. So I'm swimming upwards towards the light, and I've lost too many chances, people and loves. My foundation is crumbled, and I don't quite know who I am. And I know that I must be my own home, but I don't know how to build it. I know that the people tossing lifesavers won't go, because for once in my life, there's no fear that they'll leave or be lost. Because we're part of each other's destinations, and maybe sometimes we will sink. Because there's no such thing as smooth sailing, I know this now. But we'll never let each other drown. I tried to be brave. Beginning this voyage naive and unprepared, I tried to conquer a storm that was much too big for me. Yet I'll grow from where I've been and try to be brave again. And though I may never be a glimmering treasure from the sea, I will do my best and be enough for me. Because sometimes it is brave enough to just be enough. So I will be steady, and I will be strong, and I will forgive myself, because it's okay when things go wrong. Okay, do we have time for one more? Like, this isn't mine, but okay. All right. This is the first spoken word poem I ever heard, and it's really what got me kind of into it and wanting to do it. This is If I Should Have a Daughter. It's by Sarah Kay, and anytime I were to give anybody advice, I always reference this in some fashion. If I should have a daughter, instead of mom, she's going to call me Point B. Because that way she knows that no matter what happens, at least she can always find her way to me. And I'm going to paint the solar systems on the backs of her hands, so she has to learn this entire universe before she can say, oh, well, I know that with the back of my hand. And she's going to learn that this life will hit you hard, in the face, wait for you to get back up just so it can kick you in the stomach. But getting the wind knocked out of you is the only way to remind your lungs how much they like the taste of air. There is hurt here that cannot be fixed by band-aids or poetry. So the first time she realizes Wonder Woman isn't coming, I'll make sure she knows she doesn't have to wear the cape all by herself. Because no matter how wide you stretch your fingers, your hands will always be too small to catch all the pain you want to heal. Believe me, I've tried. And maybe I'll tell her, don't keep your nose up in the air like that. I know that trick. I've done it a million times. You're just smelling for smoke, so you can follow the trail back to the burning house. You can find the boy who lost everything in the fire to see if you can save him. Or else find the boy who lit the fire in the first place to see if you can change him. But I know she will anyway, and so I'll always keep an extra supply of chocolate and rain boots nearby, because there is no heartbreaks chocolate can't fix. Okay, there's a few heartbreaks that chocolate can't fix, but that's what the rain boots are for, because rain will wash away everything if you let it. I want her to look at the world through the underside of a glass-bottom boat, to look through a microscope at the galaxies that exist on the pinpoint of a human mind, because that's the way my mom taught me. That there will be days like this. There will be days like this, my mom said, when you open your hands to catch and wind up with only blisters and bruises. When you step out of the phone booth and try to fly, and the very people you want to save are the ones standing on your cape. When your boots will fill with rain and you'll be up to your knees in disappointment, and those are the very days you have all the more reason to say thank you, because there is nothing more beautiful than the way the ocean refuses to stop kissing the shoreline, no matter how many times it's sent away. You will put the wind in win some, lose some, and you will put the star in starting over and over, and no matter how many landmines erupt in a minute, be sure your mind lands on the beauty of this funny place called life. And yes, on a scale from 1 to over-trusting, I am
pretty damn naive, but I want her to know that this world is made out of sugar. It can crumble so easily, but don't be afraid to stick your tongue out and taste it. Baby, I'll tell her, remember your mama is a warrior and your papa is a warrior, and you are the girl with small hands and big eyes who never stop asking for more. Remember that good things come in threes, and so do bad things. And always apologize when you've done something wrong, but don't you ever apologize for the way your eyes refuse to stop shining. Your voice is small, but don't ever stop singing. And when they finally hand you heartache, when they slip hatred and war under your door and hand you handouts on the street corners on defeat, you tell them they really ought to meet your mother. Thank you guys for helping me check that one off the bucket list.